Good morning, everyone. And it is our immense pleasure to have with us Dr. Biswal Saha with us. Sir is Associate Professor, Department of Fishery Extension, Faculty of Fishery Sciences, WBA FS, Kolkata. And the topic chosen for deliberation is LFA, an important methodology for sustainable rural development project in fisheries. Sir, you are audible as well as your presentation is visible. Let's switch to presentation and start the show, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me the nice opportunity to interact with the educationists today. It is a very good opportunity for me. And I'd like to welcome all the participants, all of my friends to the today's discussion. And I would like to wish all of you the stay safe because we are going in a very pandemic situation, and hope everybody is doing well in this poor condition. And today I have selected one topic for discussion, that is the LFA, logical framework approach. I think some of you must be acquainted with this topic, logical framework approach, nowadays. And can you tell? I need your feedback also sometimes. Otherwise, it will be just like a monotonous for me. I need your feedback sometimes. Okay, you just tell me whenever you have some question, some doubt. Please let me know so that we can discuss. And this is just like this should be discussion in a two-way process. Okay, I will expect this from today's meeting. So have you heard the term LFA?
Yes, sir, continue.
What I am asking, that have you heard the term logical framework approach? Are you acquainted with the term?
No, sir, we are not accustomed with this term.
Okay. Let me explain that logical framework approach. It is an important tools for project development, sustainable project development, monitoring and evaluation of this change process. And this LFA, it is developed by the USAID first time, United States Agency for International Development. And in this approach, there is a participatory project preparation, which is very much sustainable in nature, which is very much concise, and which provides us the opportunity for monitoring, continuous monitoring and evaluation of the project. Okay, so let me come one by one. So what I have told you, that the logical framework approach is a framework for designing change process. That's mean the any project, any program, monitoring the progress of the project and evaluating the impact of the project. And there's a two term here you can see, log frame and logical framework approach. Logical framework approach is just like a methodology. It is a project designing methodology. How to prepare the log frame is called the log frame approach, and log frame is just like a document of the particular project. Nowadays, this log frame is well adapted by all the major funding institute of international development, such as DFID, OECD. So many development organizations, they're asking for the LFA for project development. Whenever we are submitting any project proposal, they're asking the format of LFA. And so we should know something about the LFA because it is a very important in today's time. So what I've told you, that LF, log frame, is just like a document, and a logical framework approach is the methodology of preparing the log frame. So logical framework approach is just like it is a management tool. It helps planners and managers in analyzing the existing situation during activity preparation. I have told that this logical framework approach, it is a participatory approach. Participatory approach means it is the approach by which we are going to involve all the stakeholders, our beneficiaries, researchers, extension agent, and who are the other person who are going to influence the particular project or who may be influenced by the particular project. So all the stakeholder in the participatory mode will develop the log frame. It establishes a logical hierarchy of means by which objectives will be reached. It also identifies the potential risk to achieving the objective. Whenever we are dealing with a particular project, we have so many activities, we have so many inputs, and after doing the activity, we are expecting some output, outcome, and impact. This is the major five terms here. Input. To develop a particular project, we first need input. Input means the money, materials, technology, manpower. These are the inputs. In each and every project, we need inputs. Then these inputs will be used for a particular activity, and this activity immediately leads to output. And after having this output, this result, immediate result, we can get the expected outcomes, expected benefit of the beneficiaries derived from this project. And lastly, the impact. Impact means there's a long-term socio-economic change due to the particular project. So this in that case, first we have to identify so many activities, which is very much important, and we have to arrange these activities one by one in a logical hierarchy of means. Then risk. In each and every activity to implement, it is associated with so many risks. So we have to assume that in a particular situation, we can do a particular activity only when each and everything will be in a normal condition. So that is called assumption. We'll go across one by one all these things. Then it will be understood by you. Then what are the basic principles? The basic principles of log frame, it is very concise. In many project proposal, you have seen it is a very lengthy. So many 50 pages, 60 pages type of lengthy materials. You have to write so many things. But here in the log frame, it's just like a 2 to 3 page maximum. Here you have to write each and everything in a concise manner. The major, most important thing, the major phrase, and the indicators, the means of verification, assumption, and the way of monitoring and evaluating all the indicators, all your impact from the project. So it is very much concise. It only 2 to 3 page maximum, and at a glance, each and everybody can understand what the project means, what the project is going to deliver. Log frame should be very much comprehensive. It includes each and everything, starting from the planning, implementation, how to get the information, data, how to implement it, how to monitor, how to evaluate. Each and everything will be included here. It involves the beneficiaries in designing log frame. I have told you that whenever we are preparing the log frame, all the stakeholders in the participatory mode, they are going to develop this log frame. Log frame to be amended whenever the project changes occur. We know that whenever we start any project, it may run for 2 to 3 years, 5 years sometimes. But in the long run, some changes may occur. It demands some changes. So log frame should be, it is very much flexible that we can make some changes whenever it needs. So that is a program planning process. You know that is a very important thing, and this is the basic of all the extension program. First, whenever we are going to do a particular program, first we have to collect the facts. Because in the extension, the most important thing is to identify the need. And what is need? Need is the difference between what is and what ought to be. So first we have to identify the what is the actual scenario, where we are right now. And what ought to be is the where we have to go, desirable situation, our objective. So this gap we have to minimize through educational approach. So to know the existing situation where we are right now, what is, we have to collect the information, collect the data. And after collecting data, we have to analyze the situation. After analyzing, we can identify the problem. That is so many problems we may identify. Then we have some problem tree methodology. Through this problem tree methodology, we can identify the major problem, root problem. And then according to the after identification of the problem, we have to develop the objective to minimize the gap between what is and what ought to be. Then plan of work, how the educational process will be done. Then execute the plan of work. Then progress and reconsideration. That is the cycle, you know, in the program. The basic things we have to know. Now, as I told that in the log frame approach, there is a major 4 things. First is input, activities, output, objectives, and outcomes also. So inputs will be given under particular precondition to conduct a particular activities. That is the logic. The activities will be undertaken in a particular assumption to produce the output. The outputs will given in a particular assumption so that we can achieve our goal, our objective. That is the logic here. Now, if we give some example, that the inputs, what are the inputs? Say in a particular project, the inputs may be manpower, what the manpowers are required, training facilities, budget. Activities, say training, define technological demonstration is our activity. Output, what is the immediate output? Output is the increased technical competency of the farmers from the training. Say whenever we are giving the training is the activities. And what is the immediate output of the training? That the knowledge, skill, and attitude of the farmers will be changed. That is the immediate output of the training, of the activities. What is the outcomes? That after having the knowledge, after having the positive attitude, and after inculcating the appropriate skill, we are in the position to increase our production, to apply the technology which we have learned in the training, we can apply in our field. That is called the outcome. And what is the impact? It is a long run process. In the long term, when what is the socio-economic improvement after doing this, after applying this technology, after applying this package of practices, after adapting this technology in the field, after applying this, what will be the socio-economic changes? That is called the impact. So these are the major things: input, activities, output, outcomes, and impact. Am I clear to all of you? Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting my point? What we are discussing? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Whenever you have some this confusion, please let me know. Everybody, please let me know if there is some difficulties in understanding. Now we are talking about the LFA steps in LFA. There is a major 4 steps in LFA, log frame approach. First is the situation analysis. In the situation analysis, there is 3 major steps. That is the stakeholder analysis, problem analysis, and objective analysis. Then after situation analysis, this situation analysis will be conducted by all the stakeholders together. And the major task in the stakeholder analysis, first in the situation analysis is the stakeholder analysis. We have to identify who are the stakeholders in the particular project. Who are the stakeholder? The person, the actors, the institutions who are going to influence the particular project, or who may be influenced by the particular project. They are called the stakeholders. Now we have to analyze the stakeholders. What is the expectation? What is the need? How the project will help them to meet their expectation. We have to analyze this. Then problem. We have to analyze the problems. What are the defined problems? What is the major problem? What is the minor problem? What is the relationship among the defined problems? Then we have to convert the problem tree into objective tree through objective analysis. This is the first step, situation analysis. Second step is the strategy analysis. Here we have to search for solution and decide the problem solution. Then we have to develop the project planning matrix or log frame. The matrix is called the log frame. That is the 4x5 table matrix. In the matrix, there is a major 4 point. That is the narrative summary, objectively verifiable indicators, means of verification, and important assumption. These are the log frame. That is the particular project documents. Contain these 4 main pillars. Then we have to implement whatever we have done in the log frame. Now we are discussing one by one. As we told that the situation analysis contains 3 major things: stakeholder analysis, problem analysis, and objective analysis. So what is stakeholder analysis? First, we have to know that the project which we are going to conduct, who are the different institution or person involved in the particular project, or who are going to influence the project, or who may be going to influenced by the project. Say we are going to develop some fisheries project. Say we have to identify who are the stakeholders. Say the researchers, the persons from the KVKs, the extension agencies, State Department of Fisheries. Farmers are one of the most important stakeholders. The input dealers are the stakeholders. The environmentalists also may be the stakeholders if they required. So we have to identify who are the stakeholders. Then the stakeholder analysis is the analysis of problem, fears, interest, expectation, restriction, potentials of all important groups, organizations and institutions, implementing agencies, other projects and individuals. Each and every individual, each and every institution, each and every stakeholders have their different interest, have different fears, have different expectations. So we have to trade off among all the stakeholders. The outcomes of the particular project should meet the expectation and should not harm any stakeholders. So jointly we have to do to make the project, world development project, sustainable in nature. Otherwise, it won't be sustained in the long run. So in the stakeholder analysis, there is a major four tools. This is called stakeholder analysis matrix, short analysis, Venn diagram, and wave diagram. I'm coming one by one. Stakeholder analysis matrix, it is just like a matrix. Say that is the major 5 points you can see here. Who are the stakeholders first? Then what is the major objective of the stakeholders? What is the positive impact going to be from the particular project? What may be the negative impact from the particular project? And what is the net impact? That is the perception first we have to know through the group discussion. Say that is the example. The SHG may be the stakeholder. What is the main objective of the particular SHG? Forestry development. Then through the particular watershed development project, that is I have given the example watershed development, WSD watershed development project. What may be the positive impact? Increased trees. What may be the negative impact? The non-availability of grazing land. And net impacts, improved vegetation. So what is the positive impact? What is the negative impact? And we have to do the trade-off. Which is किसका पल्ला भारी है, मतलब किसका पल्ला भारी है? तो positive impact जिसका पल्ला भारी है, that is the net impact, improved vegetation. And we have to discuss with all the stakeholders, and we have to come one by one. Next is short analysis. Short, short is the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. It is very much applicable in each and every situation to know the exact scenario. Here in the that is the one example is being given, that is a KVK. Say one stakeholder is a KVK. So we have to know that their strength. What is their strength? That they have the huge infrastructure. They have the huge reasonable budget allocation. That is their strength. What is the weakness? The staff vacancies. The staff is not fulfilled. They are still vacant. What is the opportunity? The staff may be filled in the long run. Region-wise training need assessment methodologies are there. And what is the threat? Pressure to close the institute, cut in budget, because so many KVKs are not functioning well. So there is a pressure from the ICR that some KVK there should be curtail in the budget. The KVK may be closed if there is a non-performance. So these are the major short analysis we have to conduct for each and every stakeholders to know the exact situation where we are right now. Venn diagram, that is one of the important PRA tool. I think some of you are very much acquainted with this Venn diagram. Venn diagram, here you can see that is some different number of circles is there. Different number of circles and the different size of the circles. And there is some special gap also there. So it represents whenever all the stakeholders are sitting together, and we have to we have to discuss with the stakeholders that okay, what do you think that who are the stakeholders here? Then maybe the farmers, maybe the beneficiaries, we can discuss with it. That okay, tell us that who are the major stakeholders in the fisheries development project and in this particular project. So they maybe tell that okay, farmers we are there, KVKs are there, Department of Fisheries, Department of Horticulture, NGO, so many people are there. Okay, now there is a different size of circle. We have to tell the farmers, okay, you select the size of circle as per the importance of the stakeholders. So the biggest one, they have given the KVK, then farmers, then Department of Fisheries, likewise, and then they have to arrange it. The special arrangement you can see here, the special arrangement of the 5 stakeholders can give the logic that how much linked they have with each other. Here you can see farmers and KVK, there is a linkage, good linkage, because this is overlapping. Department of Agriculture Fisheries say this is some just like a touching. So there is some linkage, but it's not up to the mark with the farmers and KVK. NGOs and Department of Horticulture, they are also working, but in the distance. They won't have the good linkage in a particular situation. So Venn diagram represents the importance of the stakeholders as well as the linkage established by the stakeholders with each other. Then web and spider diagram. Here you can see web and spider diagram. It is the tools to measure the internal environment of the particular stakeholders. Say here you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 levels are there. That is 0, 1 level, 1 circle, 0, then 1, then 2, and then 3. So 0 level represents that undesirable condition, drastic improvement needed. Poor situation, 1 represent. It means significant room for improvement. Second, satisfactory. That is called satisfactory. And in third layer, it is highly effective. So now we have to see that what are the different mandates or what are the different policies of the particular institution. Say our example is KVK. So here we have divided these the different activities, different mandate of the particular KVK in the 7 category. First is technical skill, then HRD, then finance management, then policy planning, then how much link with the KVK with other organization, how much client they are focusing, the learning and evaluation mechanism, government transparency, accountability. Okay, now we would like to tell the stakeholders, okay, you do accordingly. First, technical skill. What is the level the KVK is right now? What is the technical skill they have? Say they are giving the point in the level of second. That is means satisfactory. Okay. Human resource development, personal management, what they are right now? They are given in the 1 level. That's mean poor situation. Finance management, also poor situation. Policy and planning system, highly effective. So at a glance, by representing all these things in a web and spider diagram, we can tell that where the KVK is right now, what is the different constraints they are facing, what are the different scope they have, what are the strengths of this KVK. So this is the different tools for analysis of the existing situation. Now problem, second one is the problem analysis. So I have told you that the base of the extension program or planning or development program is the need. We have to identify the need. What is need? Need is the difference between what is and what ought to be. Okay, so if we ask the farmers, all the stakeholders, that what are the problems they are facing? What are the problems they are facing? So they will tell so many problems, 5, 7, 10, 15 type of problems, because there's so many problems they have been facing in the particular scenario related to fisheries development. Now, we can't focus to each and every problem. So there is one important tool, problem tree. Okay, say I am just giving one example. Say we have discussed in the group discussion or brainstorming, and we have selected 7 or 8 problems faced by the stakeholders or the farmers in the particular scenario. Now we should write all the problem in a sheet, different piece of paper or in a different sheets. Now we'll pick up one sheet randomly, okay, and see, okay, this is the problem. Say the poor socioeconomic condition of the farmers. This is the one problem. Now next is that we have to pick up another sheet randomly. Now we see that is written that lack of high yielding variety. lack of high yielding variety of crop. Okay. Now, our main task is that each and every problem may be related. It may be cause, it may be effect, or it may not cause or may not affect. Three things may be there. It may be cause, it may be effect, and it may none of these. So, if so, the problem, which one we have selected at first time, this is called the starter problem. This is called the starter problem. And second one, and so on. This is called the different other problems. Say starter problems I have, then I have taken another problem, and we have to match it. We have to see the relationship. If the second problem is the cause of the starter problem, then it will come below. If the second problem may be the effect of the starter problem, it will be placed above of the starter problem. And if it is neither cause nor effect, then it will be placed at the same level. And accordingly, we can prepare the problem tree. Just like I'm giving one example. See here. See here, you can see, just go through the slide, that say so many problems have been identified by talking with the farmers or different stakeholders. Say poor crop and livestock husbandry practice, low quality feed for livestock, poor socio-economic condition of the farmers, moisture stress and low soil fertility, inadequate factors of production, low productivity of agriculture and livestock, use of low yield crop and livestock practices. So 7 problems we have identified through the group discussion with the stakeholders. Now we have to select the starter problem, anyone. Then we have to select the another problem, and we have to see whether they are what is the relationship. If the second problem is the cause of the starter problem, it will be placed below. If it will be effect of the starter problem, it will be placed above. And if it is neither cause neither effect, then it will be placed in the same level. So these are the problem. Now we can do it, and accordingly we will get these things. That poor socioeconomic condition of the farmers is the most important problem. The major cause of the poor socioeconomic condition of the farmers is the low productivity of agriculture and livestock. Then what are the different root cause of the low productivity of agriculture and livestock? These 5. Are you getting what I'm talking about? Please give me your feedback. Are you getting?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my main means focus here to tell you that we have so many problems, but we can't. But each and every problem there is some relationship. So we have to identify that what is a major important problem and what are the different root cause of the particular problem. If we handle this root cause, if we overcome the root cause, if we solve this root cause, ultimately we can get the effect, and the major problem it will be solved automatically. If we that is the cause in the root, that is like a problem tree. If we handle the root, if we overcome the problem in the root, if we solve the root, then we can get the major problem, that is we can improve the socio-economic condition of the farmers. That is called the problem tree. And objective tree, just we have to convert the problem tree, the negative things, into positive to set the objective, because the objective will be set based on the problem. What is objective? Objective is the expression of the ends towards which our efforts are directed. Our ends is the poor social condition of the farmer. That is the ends. So we have to, objective is the expression of the ends toward which our efforts are directed. Okay. So if we convert this problem tree into objective tree, we can get we have to just convert the problem tree, that is to improve the social condition of farmers. Then just a second. If we convert this problem tree into objective tree, it will be just like first one is the first to improve the socio condition of the farmers. That is the first effect or outcomes. Then the immediate objective or output should be to increase the productivity of agriculture and livestock. Then our immediate objective should be to increase or improve crop and livestock husbandry practice, to increase the moisture stress, increase the moisture and improve the soil fertility, to use the high yielding crop variety and improve livestock race, then to improve, to adapt the improve quality feed for livestock. So this is lower level is the immediate objective, then we will get the output and then ultimately outcome. Then strategy analysis. After problem identification, problem tree, then objective tree, then strategy tree. In strategy tree means we need to identify what is the solution of the problem. So what is strategy analysis? Strategy analysis, it is a systematic way of searching for and deciding on problem solution. So what is the different choice we have? Overall concept, strategic plans, objective, what the pupil, target groups, organization, agencies, method, so many things we have. Now we have to develop the strategy. We have so many pupils, we have so many procedure, we have so many process, product, output, measures, action. Now we have to set our strategy. Now coming directly to the matrix log frame. So so first what we did, we in the log frame approach, first we have identified the problem, situation analysis we did through stakeholder analysis. Then we have identified the problem, we have developed the objective tree from the problem tree, then strategy analysis. Then next step 3 is called the project planning matrix. That is the major log frame, the actual document. Here you can see the major, it is a 4x5 matrix table, and the major components of a project planning matrix are narrative summary, objectively verifiable indicators, means of verification, and important assumption. So whatever we have already discussed, the inputs are the resources, activities are the tasks what we are going to do, outputs are the goods or service which will immediately get from the activities, immediate objectives are the outcomes, and development objective is the impact. Then objectively verifiable indicators. The indicator is the most important things in the development project. In some cases we can measure. In some cases we can measure the objective directly, but in some cases we can't measure directly because there is two type of variables: quantitative variable and qualitative variable. Say we are talking about the improvement, the empowerment. We are talking about the empowerment. So empowerment we can't measure directly because we can't weight it. We can't won't have the physical scale to measure it, but we can develop the scale to measure it. Okay, qualitative measurement, qualitative indicators. So first we have to develop the indicator. What is indicator? Say whenever we are going to purchase something in the shop, say we are going to purchase some fishes, we are telling the fish keeper that okay, shopkeeper that okay, give me 1 kg of fish. What he will do in the measuring tool, he will put on the one side he will put 1 kg weight, and on another side he will measure the fish. This 1 kg weight is called the indicators. Without indicators we can't measure. So we should have the indicators. Say our objective is to increase the fish production by 20% within 1 year, to increase the knowledge, skill, and attitude of the farmers after the training. Say that is our objective. So you know the objective should be very smart in nature. Smart means S for specific, M for measurable, A for attainable, R for realistic, and T for timely or trackable. Okay, so say that our objective is we have to increase fish production by 20% within 1 year. So it is very much simple or specific. We can measure it. What is the fish production, average fish production of the particular area, and our target is to increase 20% fish production after 1 year. So again, after intervention, we will measure the fish production after 1 year, and we can have some comparison that whether we have achieved 20% production or not, 20% increase in production or not. Now, so objective should be very simple, specific, and we have to measure. We can measure it. Then attainable. We are telling that we have to increase the 20% increase in production in the particular area. So whether is it attainable, whether it is relevant, whether it is realistic, we have to think ourselves. Okay, we are satisfied, it can be done. Timely or trackable. After 1 year, we are assuming that we will get the production more than 20%. But we should not wait for 1 year. We have to track it. That after 2-3 months, we have to sample the pieces and we have to measure the length and weight. But okay, if we are satisfied, okay, it is going in the right track, that means we are proceeding well. So an indicator, what is indicator? The change in production, 20% increase in yield, that is the indicator. The change in knowledge, that is the indicator. Change in skill, that is the indicator. Change in attitude, that is the indicator. A change in decision making, that is the indicator. So first we have to test, then we have to go for knowledge test. What is the existing knowledge test before the training? And again, after the training, we will identify the knowledge level of the farmers, same farmers from the same questions. And then we can identify, okay, that is the change, their change in knowledge have taken place. So change in knowledge, change in skill, change in attitude, change in production, change in empowerment. These things are called the indicators. Based on the indicators, we have to evaluate the things. There is a major two terms, monitoring and evaluation. Okay, we have to monitor the continuous process and we have to evaluate after conducting a particular project, particular activity. Then means of verification, from where we can identify that our objective has been achieved. From where we can identify that is, we are talking about the indicators. Indicators has been, we have achieved our output target as per the indicators. That is called the means of verification. From where we will verify. It needs source of information from what the defined information source, from method of data collection, periodicity of data collection, analysis of data and resource needs. This is the different data collection and analysis part, which tells us that whether the indicators which we have fixed, it is achieved or not. And the assumption. Assumption is the most important thing. That is the external factors or condition bearing on implementation of a project over which project manager who have no direct control. Say, we have set a particular project and the project will be sent to the donor, this funding organization, funding institutions, and they will evaluate the project. If they find the project is suitable, then they will provide us the fund. And so there's a huge responsibility that we have to manage the fund in the optimum way, and we have to give the result to the agency. Now, say, Yash, there's a natural climate hazard right now, Yash. So before that year, so many project may be developed. Say in the Purba Medinipur district, say different SIM project was developed. Okay, the DFID or different institute, they provided fund. ICR, they provided fund. But due to this cyclonic effect, due to this flood, the project hampered. Who will take the responsibility? So this is called the assumption. Assumption means I can provide you, I can give you the exact result only when each and everything will be conducive in nature. So whenever we are doing some activity, whenever we are doing some input, whenever we are expecting for the outcomes, impact, we have to write down the assumption also. Under this assumption, that may happen only. If there is a problem, climatic problem, another problem, then we won't get the result. This should be written in the log frame. So now the matrix, actual matrix. What is so? It is the matrix is just like that. There is a 4 column and 5 rows. Okay, in the column, first column narrative summary. Under narrative summary, development object or impact, immediate object or outcomes, then output, then activities and inputs. So from the below section, we can start inputs. We need inputs. Then the inputs can help us to go for activities. What are the so we have to mention all these things. What are the inputs we need? What are the activities we are going to do? What the outputs we'll get just after doing this activity? Then after having this activity, what will be our outcomes? And after outcomes, what will be our impact of the particular project? So this is given under narrative summary. Each and everything we have to write in a very concise manner. Only the major keyword, key phrase. Then objectively verifiable indicators. From where it represents the different indicators. That is the impact. So what is how we'll know that we will achieve the impact? So there must be some indicators. That improvement in the livelihood of the farmers. That is the indicators. So we have to measure the livelihood. How we'll measure it? That is the means of verification. In the third column, means of verification means that before the project, what is the baseline data, and after the project, we have to collect the baseline data and we have to compare whether we can achieve our target as per our indicator or not. So what is the means of verification? Source of information. We have to collect the information. We have to collect the data. From where we will collect the data? How we will collect the data? And what are the different source of collection of data? The data may be primary data. Data may be secondary data. If secondary data, from where we will get the secondary data? Say about income. Then what about income and about the output? From where we will get? We will tell the farmers you should maintain one record, keep record, which these budgetary provisions or calendar you should maintain. From there we can get the sum very appropriately, and the important assumption should be written in the 4th column. Next, that is the implementation. In the implementation, we have to mention the different work plans, how we are going to implement it, the budget, personal plans, staff training plans, material and equipment plans, and procurement plans. Now the monitoring and evaluation, which type of monitoring evaluation we will conduct. In input, we have to go for monitoring. In activities, we have to go for continuous monitoring. Output monitoring and review we have to do. To know the output, immediate objective, we have to go for evaluation at completion. After completion, we have to go for evaluation. What is evaluation? It is evaluation means to analyze the value of something, worth of something. Evaluation is called the analysis of value of something. Okay, and the word evaluation derived from the Latin root value. Validity, or it's called the value. So whenever we are going to measure the value of something, it's called the evaluation. Whenever we're going to evaluate the paper of the student, we have some indicator. We know the result. That is how we can evaluate it. Whenever we are going to evaluate a particular project, we should know what we should know the indicators. Based on the indicators only, we can evaluate the particular project. Now I am giving one example of all the log frame approach. That is KVK. Say in the KVK, the development objective or the impact is mentioned here: increased production, productivity, and income from agriculture and allied sector on sustained basis in the operational area of KVK. That is the impact. Then immediate objective: increased technical competence of farmers and farm women on improved agriculture technologies. So we have to, the immediate objective should be, or the outcomes of the particular project, they have defined that, okay, technical competency of the farmers need to be increased, and the improved agriculture technology need to be developed. Rural youth equipped to establish income generating activity. all the rural youth in the particular district must have some income generating activities. Then technical competency of the field level extension functionaries should be developed. Local proof, establish local proof of applicability of latest improved agriculture technology in the farmer's field. The local proof, the technology should be well tested in the local condition. Location specific technology tested in the particular location. And we have to define the technology if required. Then establish good feedback mechanism with research and extension system. That is the outcomes of the particular project. And impact, if we achieve this, then we will get the impact, they improve the livelihood of the farmers. The development objective. Now to achieve this outcomes, what the outputs are required? Outputs are on-farm test should be conducted. Frontline demonstration we have to conduct. Extension functionaries training on the latest agriculture technology, they will train. Rural youth should be trained on income generating activities. Farmers and farm women should be trained on improved agriculture technologies. That is the output. This output, how will we get this output? We'll get this output through different activities. That is the on-farm testing to refine the technology, frontline demonstration, field extension functionaries training, rural youth training, farm and farm women training. That is the activity. We are going to conduct this activity to achieve our impact. So after conducting this activity, we'll get this output. And after getting this output, we'll get the immediate objectives. After getting the immediate objective, we'll get the development objectives or impact. That is the main thing. And to conduct these activities, what are the inputs are required? Inputs we have to mention that whatever the different inputs are required, that is the budget, money is required, mobility, training facilities, equipment, production unit, buildings, implementing agencies, machinery, land, manpower. So these are the different inputs are required. Then after having these inputs, we are going to do this activity. After doing this activity, we will get the immediate output. And after having this immediate output, we'll get the immediate objective, and then we'll get our impact of the particular project. So this should be mentioned, and all the indicators and means of verification and assumption should be mentioned for each and every case. Here you can see, so the development objective, whatever we have fixed, that is the increased production, productivity and income from agricultural land sector on a sustainable basis in the operation area of KPK, whichever we have already developed. Then objectively verifiable indicator, reduction in time lag in technological generation and its transfer. Whenever we're going to generate the technology and there is a transfer of technology, we need to minimize the gap. That is the indicators. Whenever we have to evaluate the indicators. If we are confident that okay, we have achieved this indicator, we have achieved the outputs, result as per the indicators we have fixed, then okay, we are going in the right track. Then the next may be the increased agriculture production productivity in the operational area of KPK. That is the indicators. And how we will get this information? That is the way which we have mentioned here. That is the increased agricultural production productivity in the operational area of KPK. That is our indicator. All are the indicators. And what is the source of information? What is the means of verification? Progress report maintained in the district agricultural, horticulture, sericulture office or fishery office. From this office, we can get the report. So whether the agriculture production or productivity has increased or not after having the project. So that is the source of information. This authenticate source of information, secondary source of information. Or we can also collect the primary source of information, and also we can also refer the farmer's diary, farm diary. And the method of data collection, review, observation, and questionnaire method we can use. Collection. Maybe once in a half year. The inputs we are going to take, what are the activity, what are the outcomes we are expecting, and what is the impact we'll get. And for each case, we have some indicators. And to know whether we have achieved the result as per the indicators or not, from where we'll get, that is give us the means of verification. Means of verification is three types. One is source of information. What is our source of information? Second is the method of data collection. How we'll collect the data. And the periodicity of collecting the data. These are the major three things there in the means of verification. That is what I have already discussed. That is given in a comprehensive manner. Each and every activity, each and every output, their indicators and the means of verification as well as the assumption. That is, assumption means we are giving the training. We are providing the training to the farmers on scientific fish production practices. What should be our assumption? Farmers will be efficient enough to apply the training, this output of the training in their field level. What is the assumption? Farmers are interested to learn. If the farmers are not interested, then the result of the learning will be failed. So the assumption will be like that. The farmers, they have some interest to learn. Means whenever we are doing some activity, what are the different factors we can influence the activity? That should be the neutral, and we have to mention all this as the assumption. So all these things are given here. Budget, there is the different inputs. There is the different inputs is given here. Say budget, mobility, training facility, equipment, production unit, buildings, implement, machinery, and you can see here the indicators for the budget. What is the source of the budget? What is the amount of the budget? The timely availability of the budget. It is the indicators. Mobility, types, training facilities. What are the different types of the training? What are the quantity of the how many trainings you are going to provide? What is the quality of the training? What is the condition of the training? You have to mention as the indicators. Then production unit established. What is the types and size of the unit? Status and utility of the unit. And you can see here the source of information you can get from the asset register maintained in the KVK. And the method of data collection, that is the review and observation or questionnaire. And periodicity of data collection once in a year. So these are the different columns is used for the log frame. That is the actual metrics. Whenever you will write all this product of the particular this project, means what are the different inputs you're going to take, what are the different outputs you're going to do, what are the different activity, output, outcomes and impact. That is the major 5 things in the project. And all these things you have to write based on the indicators, means of verification and assumption. That gives your log frame, and that is required for the donor agency, funding agency. They will provide you the fund based on that, and that is very concise. Log frame is very concise, and it gives you the details of the particular project, how you are going to monitor, how you are going to evaluate. All these indicators give you the how you are going to evaluate the particular project. Without the indicators, it is just like a blind man is roaming around here and there in the forest. He doesn't have any destination. So indicator is the most important thing. Development of indicator and to measure of indicator is the most important thing for success of the particular project. So I like to conclude from the particular of my whole presentation, that is the log frame. It is an aid to systematically think while formulating the project, and it is a project preparation tool methodology, and it is a participatory methodology of project preparation. It is a useful device to test the consistency of project design. As all the stakeholders are involved in developing the particular project log frame, this log frame is developed by the stakeholders, scientists, researchers, extension agent, persons from KVKs, farmers, input dealers. All the stakeholders may join together, may come together. Representative of all the stakeholders should come together to develop the particular project. That is why it is very much sustainable in nature. It consists of set of interlocking concepts that facilitate planning, implementation, and evaluation of a project. It provides an overview of complex project on a single sheet of paper. Single sheet of paper, the whole project is reflected. One need not to go study in details, word by word, line by line, 50, 60, 100 pages of paper. Not like that. Just 2 to 3 pages. All the project is reflected. It can function as a master tool for analysis of and dialogue about the development issues. All the issues, all the problem, all the things, all the expectations of the stakeholders will be accommodated in the particular project. All the expectation of the stakeholders will be accommodated. All the stakeholders will be involved in the particular project. All the pupils will be actively participating in the particular project. That is why the log frame is very much important. So this is, we have discussed something about log frame. And to develop the log frame, it is very much, it is needed a huge skill, and skill only be developed through practice, through our creativity, through our thinking in a defined direction. Only we can develop this log frame. So this is for today, and I have already finished it. If you have any questions, any doubt, please, we can discuss right now. Please let me know. Please tell me.
Thank you,
Hope
sir.
you have understood, and at least 5 to 10% I have reached to you, because it is very much difficult to give you the 100% of the particular things from the online. It is required the practice. Okay, so please let me know that if you want to know, or if you want to have some more queries about that, we can discuss right now.
Thank you, sir.
Can we get the
May
Yes,
I?
please tell.
Myself, Dr. Shandhu Shah. I have some question. Thank you. First of all, thank you for this nice presentation. And sir, I have a question that if
Thank
first question is what is the limitation? There is some major limitation that can destroy such type of framework. One limitation is the farmer is not interest the farmer for the first limitation. Apart from the farmer interest, there is some
See,
any kind of
there is
limitation.
definitely, yeah, definitely in the particular project, whenever there is a intervention, there is some advantage and some disadvantage are also there. The disadvantage you can tell that is the LFA do sometimes it do not readily enabling monitoring of the unintended consequences. The consequences which may come in the long run, say unforeseen circumstances, some consequences may come, some negative things may come. The LFA do not readily enable to monitor at that time, because that is not perceived beforehand. That is one limitation, and it is also focused too much on the problem rather than opportunities and vision. The log frame mainly focus on the problem, the need, the problems of the pupil, rather than the opportunities and vision of the particular consequence, particular things. And it is too project center. Okay, only a particular, we have to just particular objective, particular development objective. It is a very much project centered in nature.
And second question is, if you already tell that there is some budget for this, there is a budget on the one of the main important factors that ultimately conduct such type of framework.
Yes.
So after complete your framework, then you see that their budget limitation is very less. So how we manage this all this program?
See here means what I've told you, that is that budget means what I'm telling, that every for every project we, pardon, I can't listen to you, just tell me again.
I am telling that after complete your framework, you have some budget, and budget one of the major things. So after complete total framework, then you see that the budget is very less. You, as for example, you budget for 1 crore or
budget is very less.
After complete, you will get the budget out of 5 lakh, you get only the 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs. So how you manage all these programs? How can change this program according to the budget?
No. I didn't tell you like that. I didn't tell. I didn't get you. Budget is required as per your activity, as per your inputs. Whatever the defined inputs you are going to do, what are the defined activities you are going to take, the budget should be very much rational based on that. And the budget is required for that. No reduction is budget. I have not didn't tell you anything about the reduction in budget. Budget is required as per the demands in the project.
But there are some cases the budget.
But it is very much logical. You are doing to
Okay.
in each and every activity, what are the different activities they're going to do, then logically you have to provide the budget. You have to mention the budget. Logically, that I am going to take 3 training, 5 training. That training is going to accommodate 50 farmers. So this type of budget is mentioned. You have to mention here. Logically, very logically.
Okay. Thank you.
Am I clear, Dr. Sanjeev?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else, please?
Sir, I'm Jay Ghosh, Johor Ghosh. My question is there any standard?
Pardon?
Hello?
Tell me.
Is there any standardization of LFA?
Standardization means?
Means there is a standard procedure for this logical framework.
Yeah, Mr. Johor, I have already discussed about the approach, how to develop the document, how to develop the log frame, situation
It is a
analysis,
standard
problem
or-
identification,
It is a
then
standard
objective
framework.
tree. All are the standard. All are the standard. All are the standardized from the DFID. From all are the standardized process. These all are the standardized process.
Sir. Okay.
Actually, this process is developed by USAID, United States Agency.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
This approach was developed by USAID, and gradually now it got a huge popularity. And all the major of the funding agencies such as DFID, OECD, then ISNAR, then Germany's GTZ, different American Development Bank. And National Legal Research Institute, they are asking for the LF.
Sir.
Whenever you have a project based on the standardized format of the LF.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, may I one question? One thing is the issue. Then this is the submission. When we submit, when we submit a project, we follow this guideline. You already told that. So when we submit a project through this process, so what are the major part they can judge in our project? What a major thing that mainly judge, but it's not the as a whole, but what are the major point that judge for their to select a project for particular funding?
Say they will judge the feasibility. First, they will judge the feasibility of your project, whether your project is feasible in the right in the particular situation or not, and what is the scope of the project. That is, the project is a very much temporary in nature. Through that project, what you are going to do? You are going to identify particular solution, particular technology, a particular action research process to minimize or to solve a particular problem, isn't it? So that is very much temporary. You are just showing, you are doing some experiment. Some experiment is conducted in the laboratory, some experiment is conducted in the field level, actual situation. So project is like that only. It is a very much temporary in nature, temporary organization by which you are going to develop some technology, some package of practice, some action research. And the donor agency or the funding agency, they will identify the feasibility of that. Whether the project is there any scope, whether it is feasible in a particular situation, what are the different activity you have mentioned, is it required, the indicator which you have fixed, is it so, the input we have given, whether it is justified, the impact, how the impact will help the pupil, what is the positive consequences of the impact will be collectively among the pupil, collectively circulated among the pupil. They will identify and accordingly they will evaluate your project. They will sanction your project.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. And definitely the sustainability, whether the project is sustained by himself itself or not.
Okay.
Sustainability was the most important thing. Economic sustainability and environmental sustainability.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome, Dr. Sanjay. Anybody here? Any question?
Any other question?
Thank you.
Whether I have reached to you or not, tell me first. Have you understood something? At least something.
Sir. Understood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If I reach to you at least 10% of my effort, then I will be happy 10%.
More than 10%.
More
Yeah,
than 10%,
Thank you.
100%. Very
Thank you.
nice.
Thank you.
It's a
Thank you
new
so much.
concept. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it is a very new concept and it is very much useful nowadays.
I will call you back, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Thank you so much. I will pray to God. He will provide you the safe umbrella, and each of us will stay safe, and will overcome the pandemic in a very short time. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Please
Thanks
take
a
care.
lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
It is a pleasure, and I want to express gratitude on behalf of the participants and organizing committee. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you so
It
much.
was a pleasure having
So should I
you.
leave?
Thank you, sir.
Should I leave, sir?
Thank you. We can all leave and join.
Okay. Have a nice time, everybody.
Participants can join back at 2:30.